Friends, can you hear Mrs. Mukbilpur or she has lost connection? Okay. Please continue, Mrs. Mukbilpur. It seems you had a technical glitch. Please continue.
Yes, I am so sorry. I just lost the connection because of the internet issue which we had. Just there was a power cut, so I'm using my husband's connection now. I hope it's okay with you all. Yes. Okay, so I just would like to continue with what I was saying about that this discourse about the station of man and humanity, knowing about how humankind has gone through different stages throughout the history of mankind, and how this journey has brought us so much ahead that during this time we can see that we have become one human society in spite of all the differences that we have. And in spite of that, although we have become one, still we don't know what is our responsibility and we don't understand what is our interconnection. So the reason is that it's like a child who has grown up, but the child doesn't know what is her responsibility in this in the society or what. Just physically, the child has grown up and there is no social responsibility being given to the child to carry forward the purpose of her existence. So for millions of years, people have been looking forward for a great day, that the day that the things would be better, that people will have more knowledge of the Lord, and the day that oneness of humankind would arise, and there would be peace around the world, and there would be understanding and love. So this day has been always a dream for the people, because they all think that it should come all of a sudden. You know, people are thinking that, oh, that is some other people's work, and other people should work for it, and it should come true. But however, the turmoils and however the difficulties have happened, but again, humanity has moved on towards its own purpose and towards establishing its purpose. I don't know that if you can realize that it is always an unseen, there's always an unseen hand in work. Just a second, I think there is another computer here. Just a second. I think I got a message from one of the participants that there is, okay. Yeah, that one is being disconnected. Yes, thanks for reminding. So there are so much of potentiality in humanity that humankind, if uses its potentialities in the right direction, is surely going to bring about changes and is surely going to fulfill the purpose for which it was created. See, God in his own wisdom has created all things, and nothing has been created without a special destiny. Every creature, you think of even a flower, you think of any mineral, you think of anything in this world, has been created for a special purpose. And this purpose has been fulfilled only through means of endeavors. So even if you see in the world of vegetation, even if you see the flowers, by grooming them, how beautiful they have become, and now we have come up with such beautiful nature around us because of this grooming. So similarly, humanity, if humanity is being aware of its own station and being aware of its own destiny, for sure humanity also will be the one which was expected at the time of creation. See, this destiny of mankind is something which is to be understood by mankind, as it was told in the welcome speech, that it's not that we are being created just to move around like the beasts in the field and having no purpose of our life. Here is one of the beautiful writings of the Baha'i faith read that it says the destiny of mankind, a unified, peaceful, and sustainable. This is the purpose that we are going to have a unified, peaceful, and sustainable planet that recognizes and upholds the oneness of the human race. So these teachings will help us, will help humanity, that it will progress from strength to strength and will advance, and it will make sure that humanity achieves its destiny. So the noble destiny which is being promised by the prophets of God is something which inspires many people. So millions of people are committed to deeply spiritual vision. They should have such deep spiritual vision that they will be able to understand that for what they have been created in this world and where they are leading to. The oneness of world of humanity, the universal peace, the universal love, international cooperation, all these are not just ideals, they are not just beautiful words that we are putting together, but they are the ultimate aim for which mankind has been created. And if mankind does not understand its own station, it is going to do no good. Here is one of the beautiful quotes of Baha'u'llah in Kitab al-Das, the most holy book. He says, "Cling ye, O people of Baha, to the true one, for thereby your stations shall be made manifest. Your names written and preserved, your ranks raised, and your memory exalted in the preserved tablet. Beware lest the dwellers on earth hinder you from this glorious and exalted station." So the station which is fixed by God for us is to be realized, is to be recognized by all of us. And he says, in truth, where that lofty and glorious station be revealed to an extent smaller than a needle's eye, before the eyes of them that dwell on earth, they would one and all be so filled with joy and ecstasy as to be consumed thereby. That station which God has fixed for mankind, it is so high, it is so beautiful, that if it would be revealed to us, even to the small extent, we would certainly leave everything else and just go ahead maintaining the station which God had given us. Then here Baha'u'llah again says that were we to reveal thy station, the hearts of men would be sorely agitated. Then it is again understood that the station of man is so high. And then we have in another writing that Abdul Baha says that nothing has been created without the special destiny. He says that every creature has an innate station of attainment. The divine teachers desire man to be educated that he may attain to the high rank of his own reality, the deprivation of which is the rank of perdition. Then Abdul Baha continues and he says, man needs the light of the Holy Spirit. When we come to the state of man, we find his kingdom is vested with a divine superiority. Then he says that if you compare man with animal, you will understand that animal has no purpose in their life, and this is the man which has been endowed with a high station and with a purpose in his life. So when we come to the purpose of life, we understand it's not merely living and passing on. You see, now the concept is absolutely different. In today's society, people think that the purpose of their life is just to accumulate wealth and then accumulate knowledge and then just go on and wait for the deadline to come. But this is not really the purpose for which we all are being created. So here, the purpose of God in creating man had been and will ever be to enable him to know his Creator and to attain his presence. Isn't it beautiful? Unless we don't know our Creator, the purpose of our life is not being fulfilled. Once we understand who is our creator, we come to know that we will certainly focus on the purpose of our creation as well. So here again, Abdul says that to this most excellent aim, this supreme objective, all the heavenly books and divinely revealed and various scriptures unequivocally bear witness. This is not that right now it's being discovered to us. This has been the purpose of life. This has been the purpose of creation right from the beginning of humanity, from the time that God created the world, each and everything. That time He had given a purpose for the life of humanity. There was a question asked from Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of the Baha'i faith. He said the question was, what would be the object of the life of a Baha'i, of any individual who believes in today's manifestation of God? And Shoghi Effendi beautifully said that the object of life of a Baha'i is to promote the oneness of mankind. The whole object of our lives is to bound up with the lives of all human beings. Not a personal salvation we are seeking, but a universal one. We are not living for ourselves. We are living for the whole world. Then he says we are not to cast eyes within ourselves and say, now get busy saving your soul and reserving a comfortable berth in the next world. No, we are to get busy on bringing heaven to the planet. That is very big concept. Now this big concept, this beautiful concept is in front of us. That we are not going to serve our own self. Although I am worried for my own soul, that how I can maintain the integrity of my soul, but it is not the purpose of my creation that I only focus on myself. It is the time that I should promote the oneness of mankind. Then again, Shoghi Effendi continues and he says, our aim is to produce world civilization which will in turn react on the character of the individual. Now you see, when you serve for humanity, when you help to promote human understanding, cooperation, love, peace, harmony, that will again react. It comes back to yourself because you have created a beautiful environment. So it comes back to yourself. And then it says, it is in a way the inverse of Christianity, which started with the individual unit and through it reached out to the entire cooperative life of men. This does not mean we must neglect to prone our personalities and weed out our faults and the weaknesses. But it does mean we have to do a lot of radiating out to others of what we know to be true knowledge, and we study the teachings of the divine. So in this case, we understand that the purpose of God's creation was to promote understanding among the humanity. So when we say we want to establish a world civilization, we should have a dream of that civilization. We should know what type of a civilization are we aiming at. And if we don't understand our own station as a humankind, we will not be able to contribute to establishment of that civilization. So these 2 points, the topic of today, the issue of knowing the station of man and knowing the purpose of life will help us to be more productive and will help us to move in the right direction. And that is what positive vibes we are looking for. And that is how these social misunderstandings and the conflicts which are happening around us can be abolished. So I think I congratulate once again the organizers for this beautiful topic selected for today, which is so thought-provoking and which is not only the discussion for a day, but I think it is a matter of reflection every day. Then every day we bring ourselves to account and see whether I have done anything to upkeep the station of man, or whether I have done anything to fulfill the purpose for which I was created. So I think there are so many other eminent speakers here today who would surely throw light on this beautiful topic. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Mughbalpur. It was so nice hearing you. And I'm so sad that you lost the connection. And I also heard that there was an echo while we were speaking. So unfortunately, some of your sentences were not clearly audible, but we could understand that you were talking about human destiny, about the future of mankind, and quoted several beautiful quotations from Baha'u'llah, from Abdul Baha, and all that. Friends, let's go forward. I hope all of you have heard somehow reasonably well, Mrs. Mughbalpur. Um, that's the liability of technical connections. You know, it's beyond our control. Anyway, so we have the next program is that we have a number of we have compiled a few holy writings from several religions on the theme, and this is actually, I call it, introspection time. So these quotes that we will read now, and you know, it will kind of shed, it will kind of you know, it will give us a kind of a feeling that the theme of the conference, the theme of the seminar that we have today, uh, it will kind of giving us what should I say, a kind of insight, a kind of feeling that that we are on the that all the religions of the world speak the same thing. You know, we are on the same page, and what we are trying to do for a common future of humankind. So we have among us Dr. Merchant, Dr. A.K. Merchant, who is a member of the national governing body of the Baha'is of India. So may I kindly request him to read for us the holy quotes from the religions and share his insights for a few minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. Namaskar and good morning to everybody. Thank you very much, Dr. Jiten Mishra, and all the esteemed friends, some of them from very far off, like Madam Rosa Vasiki, whom we had known when she was in India. A few of my other friends are here, Mrs. Manju Baveja, Dr. Swati Chandra, and all the other friends. Thanks a lot for being part of this virtual discourse. Dr. Mishra has given me the privilege to read the quotes. So first from Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So this is Lord Krishna. I am the goal of life, the Lord and support of all, the inner witness, the abode of all. I am the only refuge, the one true friend. I am the beginning, the staying, and the end of creation. I am the womb and the eternal seed. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world. By devotion to selfless work, one attains the supreme goal of life. Do your work with the welfare of others always in mind. This was from the Bhagavad Gita. And you will notice, as Dr. Mishra mentioned, that there is a common thread in all of the scriptures. The next I have is from the Holy Quran. O mankind, reverence your guardian, Lord, who created you from a single soul, and serve God and do not associate anything with him, and be good to the parents and to the near of your kin and the orphans and the needy and the neighbor of your kin and the alien neighbor and the companion in a journey and the wayfarer and those whom your right hands possess. Surely God, that's Allah, does not love him who is proud, boastful. Indeed, God enjoins justice and the doing of good to others, and giving like kindred, and forbids indecency and manifest evil and wrongful transaction. He admonished you that you may take heed. Then from the Holy Bible, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. For you were called to freedom, brothers. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life. So that was from the New Testament. We have again the words of Gautama Buddha. Teach this triple truth to all. A generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity. Set your heart on doing good. Do it over and over again, and you will be filled with joy. If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. If you find no one to support you on the spiritual path, walk alone. There is no companionship with the immature. In the end, these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go? One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. These are the words of Lord Buddha. Next, I have some passage from the Baha'i Holy Writings. Baha'u'llah says, wert thou to attain to but a dew drop of the crystal waters of divine knowledge, thou wouldst readily realize that true life is not the life of the flesh, but the life of the spirit. The purpose of God in creating man had been and will ever be to enable him to know his creator and to attain his presence. To this most excellent name, this supreme objective, all the heavenly books and the divinely revealed and weighty scriptures unequivocally bear witness. Upon the inmost reality of each and every created thing, he, God, had shed the light of one of his names and made it a recipient of the glory of one of his attributes. Upon the reality of man, however, he had focused the radiance of all his names and attributes and made it a mirror of his own self. Alone of all created things, man had been singled out for so great a favor so enduring a bounty. All men have been created to carry forward an ever advancing civilization. To act like the beasts of the field is unworthy of man. Those virtues that befit his dignity are forbearance, mercy, compassion, and loving kindness. So, dear friends and guests, from what we have heard from Mrs. Nadia Mukbalpur and from the scriptures of different religions, we understand that truly the station of man is so exalted, and yet when this human being gets trapped by the material things of the world and lost in his or her physical pleasures, then you no longer are a human being. And every time, we read in the news or we receive a report that how uh, despicable or how unworthy, unbecoming has been human behavior, like when there is instances of violence or when there is injustices being meted out, or when there is a behavior which brings a lot of sorrow and pain to others, surely we lose our humanity. That's why we say insaniyat, the biggest virtue is that insaniyat, the humanity, the goodness. So friends, I'm sure all of you would like to contribute, but I'm grateful that this virtual discourse has received the attention of so many friends and well-wishers. And thanks to the effort of Dr. Mishra and his family, we have been brought together. The music has been uplifting. The prayer has been also inspiring. So friends, we can all share our reflections. I'm grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to share these spiritual quotations from the scriptures on the subject of our discourse. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Merchant. Okay, before we proceed ahead, I will request now my friend, Mr. Hemati, to sing a song for us before we go for the interactions. We will have lively interactions after the song, and friends can comment, friends can ask questions. So our speaker or any of the other friends would like to respond, we will do that. So can I request Mr. Hemati to sing a song for us?
Okay. As Mrs. Moghbalpur mentioned and Dr. Asu Merchant explained so beautifully, we are here to inspire each other and understand that God's purpose for creating us has been to know Him and to worship Him and attain His presence. So I'm really delighted and so happy to share with the friends a song also which is about ये सब ज़मीन है मेरी ये आसमान है मेरा मकीन हर मका हूँ मैं हर एक मकान है मेरा ये सब ज़मीन है मेरी ये आसमान है मेरा ये सब ज़मीन है मेरी ये आसमान है मेरा मकीन हर मका हूँ मैं हर एक मकान है मेरा हर एक मकान है मेरा मैं क्यों कहूँ कि बस मेरा वतन ये मुल्क हिंद है मैं क्यों कहूँ कि बस मेरा वतन ये मुल्क हिंद है कि हूँ मैं सब जहान का सभी जहान है मेरा कि हूँ मैं सब जहान का सभी जहान है मेरा कि हूँ मैं सब जहान का, सभी जहान है मेरा, सभी जहान है मेरा। ये सब जमीन है मेरी, ये आसमान है मेरा। मुसाफिर अदम हूँ मैं, सफर में दम बेदम हूँ मैं। मुसाफिर अदम हूँ मैं, सफर में दम बेदम हूँ मैं। जहाँ जरा ठहर गया वही मकान है मेरा, जहाँ जरा ठहर गया वही मकान है मेरा। जहाँ जरा ठहर गया वही मकान है मेरा, वही मकान है मेरा। फजूल और बात है, हमारी एक ही जात है। जहाँ जहाँ है आदमी वो खानदान है मेरा। फजूल और बात है, हमारी एक जात है। जहाँ जहाँ है आदमी वो खानदान है मेरा, वो खानदान है मेरा। जहाँ जहाँ है आदमी वो खानदान है मेरा, वो खानदान है मेरा।
Thank you so much, Mr. Hemati. Such an inspiring song, very, very apt for the occasion. You know, everywhere belongs to us. We belong to everywhere.
Yes.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Yes.
Friends, this is the time for interactions. Friends can share their views. They can. We have a couple of minutes to ask questions or give your views, and after that we will go to the next program. So please raise your hand so that I can see, so I can unmute you, and you can share your views. Can I see someone? Yes, I can see Mrs. Mitra wants to share her views. Adib, would you please unmute her? Yes, has she unmuted? Uh, where is she? I can't see her. Mrs. Mitra, if you can see, please unmute yourself. You will see the prompt on your screen. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please go ahead, whatever you want to say.
Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, sir. It was wonderful webinar. I liked it very much. And as I'm the teacher of Blossom School and I take up the value education class, and by this time I have completed the entire book. And my last value was, what is the purpose of life? I asked right from standard 1, 2, and 4. Madam, just to become a big doctor, engineer, some teacher, I said no, I want to know regarding values. So I make them understand, sir, the purpose of life to become a very good person. And after that, all the values falls on your heart. And when you put it in action, you definitely become a very good doctor, a very good teacher, a very good engineer. So I want to ask my resource person, those who are present here, am I right, sir? Am right, ma'am, in my teaching? Thank you.
Welcome, wonderful view. Thank you so much. Okay, anyone else? Can't see anyone. Yes, can you see someone, Adib? Yes. Okay, please unmute.
I have unmuted. Can everyone hear me?
It's a bit low. Would you please speak a little bit louder?
Can you?
Mr. Parminder, I can't hear you.
Can you
Yes,
hear me now?
yes, now it's fine.
All right. So the keynote speaker talked about, the evolution of man through different stages. Starting, I guess, we were hunters and gatherers when our life was just like brutishly short. And I want to ask a question, like, if we can all reflect on this, do you think now we are at a stage in our evolution where life is entertainment? Like right from our childhood till the day we die, it seems like life is nothing but just entertainment. And this diffusion of communication, information technology has kind of enforced that. So I just want like everyone to reflect on that.
Thank you. I will request our keynote speaker to answer, Mrs. Mogbelpur.
Yes, beautiful question. And of course, again, it depends what is an entertainment. Because I have seen many people are busy day and night serving humanity, doing different type of social work and everything, and they find entertainment in that. And I've seen some people who are just wasting their time and enjoying around, and they find entertainment in that. So I think it is again something that we have to define it for ourselves. So when we understand our high destiny, when we understand for what we have been created, then I think this is when we can really shape our life, and our life can move in the right direction. As Mrs. Mitra was also telling just now, that we will become good human beings after implementing all those values. So I also believe that, of course, life is a place of entertainment, but at the same time, we should not be diverted from the main purpose of our life. See, it is not only a matter of today. If you see in human history, it has always been a kind of a confusion for humanity to distinguish between good and bad, right and wrong, and ultimately selecting the right path. So I think when we are being reminded of every now and then by these different manifestations of God who are coming, by these beautiful writings which these manifestations of God are bringing for us, if we really focus on them, we read them and we meditate on them, I think we get to know the essence of everything we do. Even when I want to go for any kind of entertainment, I will certainly select the entertainment which will raise the values in me, which will not degrade me, as a human being. Because I know the high destiny of mine, and I know that the station with which humanity has been endowed, the nobility in humanity, that should not be degraded. So certainly this would be a guideline or a kind of a map for me, the guide map, that I will go through that, because I don't want to be degraded from the high station that I have. And at the same time, I want to have a happy and joyful life with the purpose which is already hidden, underlying all my activities throughout the day, the actual purpose of my life, promotion of love, humanity. And that is the real entertainment when we take into consideration.
Thank you, Mrs. Mogbelpur. We saw the hand of Mrs. Swati. Is she there? Please
Yes,
unmute
sir.
yourself.
Yes, sir. Can I put my video on, or I can
Of
just
course you
speak?
can. You are most welcome.
Okay, okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And I'm a bit unwell, and I was in my bed, and I'm glad that I began my morning with this. So I joined in the middle. Thank you, Dr. A.K. Merchant, for reminding me. So what I wanted to say was just a comment, because, I'm in the teaching profession. I'm an assistant professor, and, coincidentally, by accidentally or incidentally, I'm teaching Hind Swaraj this time in post-colonial studies. So there is a chapter on education where Mahatma Gandhi, he talks, when Mahatma Gandhi was not in the favor of the, type of the English education, or the westernized mode of education that was being introduced in India that around that time, and everybody was very, kind of enthusiastic about it. But Gandhiji had his, problems, and there he makes a point that, he had talked about religious education, more to say, ethical education, that, because he had emphasized on character building. And one thing he had said that, India will never be godless, that, if in India we cannot just copy paste the structure or the mode of education that we have there, because India will never be godless. And therefore, if you want to instill, ethic, because religion, today when we see education and religious ideas as something like, mostly especially in my sphere, in the field, that if you are educated, you should not be believing on religion, or you should be divorced from religion. Religion is seen as the opium, that kind of intoxicates people and takes it away from humanity, or things like that. But given that the fabric of India is so much embedded in religion, and, I think we what Gandhiji had pointed out was right, that India will never be godless. But what we need to do, like everywhere, wherever we are, as parents or as teachers, educators, or, whatever, social activists, in whatever position we are, we, like, we do not need to be religious as in the sense of ritualistic, or very organized kind of some dogmatic principles. But we should be able to make our students, our kids, understand the beauty of different religion, because, today most of these ideological wars, most of the social conflicts that we have, is because of these, religion, and whatever, our politicians make us see the ugly things in others. So herein, it becomes very important for all of us that, instead of ignoring religion, we should be, because this is very difficult. We cannot, even if we want politically, you cannot look at us, what is happening, especially in India around. So we need to, at our homes or wherever we are, when Dr. A.K. Merchant quoted from different religions, ultimately we have to keep pointing out these similarities, and how every religion ultimately is asking us to be more humane, to be to help everyone around you, and it is through dedication to others that we can attain God or spirituality, whatever. So I think this is the need of the hour, that, so I'm happy to be a part of the program, that at least we are talking about it, because the circle that I am in, this is something like, religion is something that you don't talk about, because it is not, if you're educated, you have to be divorced from religion or religious teachings or anything related to that. So I think we need to, this is a very healthy, program that I became a part of, and I would like to, continue with that, and that we need to have a discourse around this. I'm very happy, and wherever we are as parents also, we need to do that. Thank you. That's all that I had to say.
Thank you so much for your observations. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we don't have so much time to discuss, otherwise we would take it up, each and every point that you're talking about. In any case, I saw two hands. One was Mrs. Mitra, the other one was Mr. Piyush. So I go first to Mrs. Mitra. You wanted to make a comment? Please unmute yourself, Adib. Adib. Yes, yes. Unmute Mrs. Sumitra Mitra. Susmita Mitra. Please unmute yourself. You will.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I'm audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes. It's okay to comment on which distinct topics, sir, I couldn't understand, because I have put forth the question, and I just wanted to know whether what I was stating to my student, was it perfect? I'm perfect in my teaching. I wanted to know from my resource person, Nadia ma'am. I should go ahead because we have lot of webinar, we have lot of workshop on this, and she's the main resource person of us, but we have in different ways. So yes, ma'am, please tell me.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I think your main focus always in your value education classes is the human dignity, the nobility of man. And that is really the right thing that you are inculcating in the minds of the children. That from childhood they understand that human being is a noble creation of God. And this nobility, once being inculcated in the hearts and minds of the children, they will rather be uh, killed than be doing something which is not worthy of the station of man. So I think you are in the right direction, and you are telling your students about human values, and you are telling them that whatever may be their profession, whatever may be their ambition, their main and foremost ambition should be to be a good human being. I think that is what you are telling them in simple language, in a simple way, and that will surely take them a long way. And once they know what is their true identity, that is something that we should really let our youngsters know, that what is their true identity. Like Baha'u'llah says, you are my light, you are my lamp, and my light is in you. So each of us human beings are the lamp of God, and God's light is in us. So we should be worthy of carrying that light. And then Baha'u'llah says, you are my dominion, and my dominion perisheth not. So if this is being explained to the students that you are the dominion of God, so the students will, carry themselves with that dignity. So the dignity which we are establishing in the minds and the hearts of the children, it's all based on the spiritual values that they inculcate in their life right from childhood. And they are
Yes.
already embodied with those values and virtues. It only has to be manifested. So I think
Yes.
as a teacher, you are doing a great job, and you are really ensuring it to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Mogulpur. The next person is Mr. Piyush. Are you there?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Please, pose your question.
Yeah, it's not actually a question, but I would like to share something if it's totally all right with every one of you.
Yeah, relevant to the subject, please.
Yeah, definitely relevant to the subject itself.
Please.
I also have, I do mostly spiritual practices because I'm more into spirituality overall. So, we humans are definitely, we are all a part of the same soul. We are all part of the same God. And we are the extension of his energy. Like, and I have come across so many kinds of people who call themselves a spiritual people, or or religious or whatever, as a matter of fact, but they are full of vanity. They have a lot of uh, the, they don't know what exactly they are doing in their lives in terms of the spiritual aspects. And the main goal of a human kind is to become conscious, to reach to a level where they get united with the God itself. And by doing a lot of good deeds that we are supposed to do as humans, there are still something which is missing. No matter what we do, no matter how good karma we do, something, or a bad karma always comes up, and it tries to create the problem uh, among the humans, or among the people who are just trying to follow the good karma. So it is just like the balance in the nature that there will be, wherever there's good, there's a bad, and every human has it. It's just like the way it is, isn't it?
Okay, very much to the point. Yes, of course, the purpose of human life is much beyond that what the contemporary human race or currently the people are thinking, you know. The problem is that the humankind or the most of the people, they don't differentiate between the physical and spiritual realities. The spiritual realities are not visible. It doesn't mean they're non-existent. They're not there. God has only one universe, and the rules of the physical world and the spiritual world is the same. The same laws apply, but the only thing is that we need to introspect and we need to think, we have to study the holy writings. Then we understand how do we perceive the spiritual realities, what is the larger purpose, what is the higher purpose that God has created us. The other day I was invited to a discourse and they were saying the span of human life. And I posed a question to the keynote speaker. He was a little baffled. My question was that why do you not calculate, you know, the human life, they were calculating 60 years or 70 years or 75 years, as long as we live. But I said to him that why don't you calculate plus 9 months that you stayed inside the womb of the mother? Then he didn't have an answer to give me. You know, I said, if you draw a line and you keep your hand on both sides, part of the line, you don't say what you see is the complete line. You know, you have covered a part of the line. And that's what I'm trying to point out to you, dear friends, that what we do not see, it does not necessarily mean that that is the truth. The 9 months that we spend inside the womb of the mother, it's also the part of the life. And you know, and also the part of the life that we don't see, which is coming ahead, which is beyond our perception, because we don't have that capacity to understand. God has not given us deliberately that capacity for us to know that. If we know that, we will jump the gun, we will try to go there, you know. So the purpose of creation that Mrs. Mogwilpur was telling, we must understand it transcends the superficial thinking and the trivial things that we are doing in our daily life. It is much, much beyond that. The sooner we realize, the earlier we will live a productive life and a result-oriented and content life. So I haven't seen any other hands further. Okay, yes, I can see Mr. Nelson wants to share his views. Please unmute yourself.
Uh, am, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, the son of Baha'u'llah, Abdul Baha, said that the reality of man is his thought, not his material body. The thought force and the animal force are partners. Although man is part of the animal creation, he possesses a power of thought superior to all other created things. If a man's thought is constantly aspiring towards heavenly subjects, then does he become saintly? If, on the other hand, his thought does not soar, but is directed downwards to center itself onto things of this world, he grows more and more material until he arrives at a state little better than that of a mere animal. Then he further explains that thoughts may be divided into two classes: thought that belongs to the world of thought alone, and thought that expresses itself in action. And I would like to connect this with the comment of the teacher, Ms. Mitra, of teaching values to his students so that it will influence their action. And then also the comment that has been made that there are brilliant people in the world and there are religionists and spiritualists whose thoughts are lofty and yet remain in the realm of thoughts and not being practiced in the realm of action. Having said that, there's another missing factor, and that is a plan for which humanity should proceed. Which direction shall we proceed? You see, we have a lot of experts, a lot of intelligent people, but also on the other hand, a lot of people who are greedy and who don't care about others. So there is a missing factor that is needed in the world today. And that is how, as a humanity, the whole of humanity should act together. Whether you're in the left side or on the right side, up or upside or downside, in your philosophies and in your actions, there must be a need for a global plan. And I think um, in this time of need, especially in this time of pandemic, when all these clouds have been cleared, mankind hope should be to come together and really plan for the future of the world, whether it's environmental, economic, social, political, educational. There should be a global plan. And I think this is where the Baha'i will come in. A structure has been formed, and it is a like a pattern has, that we can offer to humanity. The only question that is left in my heart and in my mind is how do other people will come on board, whether they believe in the Baha'i teachings or not. There is a structure that is already set, and there is a plan that Baha'u'llah has laid down for all humanity to look and see if this will work. And our duty really is to invite the rest of the world to look if this plan would work, because all the other plans historically have not worked so far. That's all my comment is.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for your wisdom. Thank you so much. And the next person is Mr. Bhupinder Singh. Would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Very nice. My hello to everybody who is on board in this meeting, and my best wishes to everybody. And everybody spoke so nicely their ideas on today's topic of discussion. And though I would not say that anybody was less than anyone else, everybody was very nice, but particularly Mati sir. I just liked his, his poem or song, whatever it was. So Mati sir, see, he is saying, जहां पर भी कोई जन है वो है खानदान मेरा, जो जहां पर भी कोई व्यक्ति है वो है खानदान मेरा. That means wherever there is a human being or a creature, that is my family. So wherever there is life, that is our family. That is our extended whole family. Wherever there is life, plant, insect, horse, donkey, dog, human being, everywhere that is our family. That is our family. So such wonderful words, and he is so good at his musical instrument also. So today I'll not speak much, and I'll also take your permission, since I have to leave for a place to show myself. So it was a wonderful session, and I look forward to learning more and more from such sessions from all of you. My sincere regards to everybody present in this meeting. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Singh. Mr. Singh is not well. He's an officer with the Haryana government. He's not well, so he had to leave anyway. So do we have any more hands, or shall we proceed to the next program? No. Okay. All right, friends. The next program is that we are going to read. It's a slightly unconventional exercise that we are doing in order to, again, evoke consciousness within us. We are all adults, and we have Mrs. Nilakshi with us. who is heading the Office of Public Affairs of the Baha'is in India. So I'm going to request her to read for us the statement of the pledges that, the idea is not to join the discourses and then stay where we are. The discourse that we are doing currently, the idea is to follow it up in our daily life, is to spread the positive vibes around us in our neighborhood, around the extended family, and in the society at large. So I will request her that she will repeat the pledge and she will read the pledge for us. And all of us, we will repeat after her. So she will read slowly and we will repeat it after her. So is Mrs. Nilakshi there? Can I see her?
Yes, yes, Dr. Jitan. Thank you
Yes.
so much for this opportunity.
Yes. Are you able to see the screen or you have the copy?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
I have
Please
a
read
copy.
slowly so that we can, all of us, we can repeat. Adi, please unmute everyone. Friends, please unmute yourself so that your voice will be heard. Just hold on one sec. Let's unmute everyone and then you will continue.
Sure.
Adi, it is done? Yes. Friends, please unmute yourself.
Will
From
be a lot
our
of
side, we
echo.
have unmuted you. You will see a prompt on your screen. So you have to click it to unmute yourself.
Yeah, we managed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Let's go ahead. Yes, Ms. Nilakshi, you can go ahead.
We recognize
We
recognize
each and every
Each
human
and
being
every human being
Each and every human being
is created
is
noble
created
by the
noble
Almighty.
by the Almighty.
is created noble by the Almighty.
As per His
As per
commandment,
His commandment,
As per His commandment,
we promise to show our
promise to
love,
show our love,
we promise to show our love,
respect, and empathy to all.
respect, and empathy to all.
We recognize
We recognize
that the betterment of the world
that the betterment of the world
can be accomplished
can be accomplished
through pure and good deeds
through pure and good deeds
and conducts,
and conducts,
and we promise to work towards it.
and we promise to work towards it.
We understand
We understand
that the purpose of human life
that the purpose of human life
is to know
is to know
and worship our Creator,
and worship our Creator,
obey His commands,
obey His commands,
win His pleasure,
win His pleasure,
and contribute to the well-being of others.
and contribute to the well-being of others.
We recognize
Recognize
that human beings
that human beings
are the highest creation of God.
are the highest creation of God.
They are immensely powerful.
They are immensely powerful.
They are created
They are created
and are responsible
and are responsible
to carry forward
to carry forward
an ever-advancing civilization
an advancing civilization
with mutual love,
with mutual love,
trust, cooperation,
cooperation,
and collaboration of everyone.
and collaboration of everyone.
We promise to keep away
We promise to keep away
from, from the futile conflicts
from the futile conflicts
and controversies,
and controversies,
but under no circumstances
but under no circumstances
stay aloof from the
stay aloof
From the
from the pressing concerns
of the society.
of the society.
We will explore
We will explore
the precious points of unity
The precious points of unity
where constructing perspectives
where contrasting perspectives
overlap
overlap
and around
and around
which contending peoples can coalesce.
which contending peoples can coalesce.
We promise
We promise
to put the needs of others
to put the need of others
before our own,
before our own,
enable the disillusioned
enable the disillusioned
to be empowered,
to be empowered,
and work for the betterment of the society.
and work for the betterment of the society.
We will also offer
We will also offer
support to all those
support to all those
who work in this direction as well.
who work in this direction as well.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Nilaksi. It was wonderful. Thank you so much. Friends, please mute yourself. The next program is a group photo that we are going to take for our record that you all joined us. So I would like to request all of you, if you can switch on your video, the photograph will be nice. Please switch on your videos. We have a couple of them have not switched on so far. Okay, so I request Ravi, Mr. Farida, please take the pictures. Adib, if you can. So we have a couple of beautiful pictures.
Adib?
Adib, it is done.
Yes.
Okay, so nice to see all of you, dear friends, from so many places, from so many backgrounds, from so many places of the world. And we hope you like the gathering. We hope you like the insight that our speakers shared. May I request, we have a very dear friend from Malaysia. She's going to sing for us a song on the unity of mankind before we disperse. So I request Madam Pina to sing for us the song.
Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily thou art their helper and their Lord.
you, dear friends, for joining. Before we go, before we leave, if you have not shared your contacts, you can leave your contacts in the chat box so that we invite you again for our future gatherings. Most probably it will be held on the 3rd week of February. So please leave your email addresses and your telephone numbers so we can add you up in our WhatsApp group, or send you mails regarding the programs. Before we disperse, I would like to read a quote from Baha'u'llah, and then we will say goodbye. You know, Baha'u'llah says, upon the utmost reality of each and every created thing, God had shed the light of one of his names and made it a recipient of the glory of one of his attributes. Upon the reality of man, however, he has focused the radiance of all his names and attributes and made it a mirror of his own self. Alone of all he created man, he singled out man with so great a favor, so enduring a bounty, which means upon all the created things, God has given his attributes. One of his attributes he gave to the animal world, to the mineral world, to the vegetable world. And on the kingdom of man, he has given all his attributes and qualities. So that means the human beings are like supreme talisman, you know, they can do anything. So it depends how they use it, their capacity, their potential, how they use it. It's all up to them. So you can use it in destructive purpose, we can use it in constructive purpose. It all depends on us, how we do it. So these kind of initiatives are just to educate people, are just to help each other to understand the spiritual reality, the spiritual principles, so that we can live our life productively and in a better way to carry forward a better world for our children, for the future generation. So with this note, I would like to end this discourse. And once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Mrs. Mogwelpur. Thank you, Mrs. Nilakshi. Thank you, Dr. Merchant. Thank you, my friends. Some friends, they joined me from abroad. Thank you, Mr. Hemmati. To everyone, all of you. Thank you, Mrs. Roja, my dear spiritual sister from Australia. She has joined on our request. So we have so many friends have joined. It's so delightful to see all of you. Hope to see you all in the forthcoming discourse. If you haven't given your email address or telephone numbers, please do share before the Zoom disconnects us. Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet all of you. Take care. Have a lovely day. You can disconnect, Adi.